Welcome back to Linux Launch, Basic Linux Skills with the C Model Framework. This is a modular way to learn Linux using simple, memorable acronyms to make the process smoother and more enjoyable. In this module, we're diving into terminal basics to help you get comfortable with the command line, and we're using the acronym COMMAND to guide the way. In this lesson, we'll start with the letter C, which stands for console. So what is the console? For our purposes, console and terminal mean the same thing, and throughout this lesson I'll be using the word terminal, which is the more common term today. Historically, the console referred to the physical keyboard and monitor directly connected to a computer. A terminal was originally a device used to connect to a larger system remotely, kind of like a station where a user could log in and do work on a mainframe or server. But in modern Linux, the meaning has shifted. Today, when people say terminal, they're usually talking about the software window where you type commands, not a physical device. That's why you often hear the terms console and terminal used interchangeably, even though they started out meaning different things. Now, when we open our Ubuntu desktop, we see something familiar. Icons, apps, and windows, kind of like what you'd expect in a Windows PC or Mac OS. This is the Graphical User Interface, or GUI. The GUI gives us access to a terminal emulator. So if we click the Applications icon in the bottom left corner and search for Terminal, we can open it right here. Once it's open, you can right-click the terminal icon and add it to your favorites so that it's easier to find next time. This is where we'll do most of our real work in Linux. This window is often called the terminal, but remember, the terminal was originally a physical device. Since this is a software-based version, we call it a terminal emulator. There are several terminal emulators out there, like GNOME, Alacrity, and Console with a K, to name just a few. If we open the terminals menu and click on About, we'll see that we're using the GNOME terminal, which is the default in Ubuntu. Now here's something important. The terminal and the shell are two different things. The terminal is the window where we type, but the shell is the program that actually interprets and runs our commands. To see what shell you're using, type the command echo $shell. The echo command prints something to the screen, and $shell is a system variable, one of several built-in values that Linux keeps track of. We'll cover system variables more in a future lesson. For now, just be aware that they exist. So when we press enter to run that command, we see that we're using the bash shell, short for the born again shell, one of the most common and user-friendly shells in Linux. You can even change your shell if you would like. To see available options, type the command cat/etc/shells. This shows us a list of shells that are installed in our system and available to use. If you wanted to switch, you can use the chsh command, for example, chsh-s/bin/sh. Then just log out and log back in for the change to take effect. But for now, we'll stick with the GNOME terminal emulator and the bash shell, since both are the Ubuntu defaults, and they'll serve us well throughout this course. Well, that wraps up the letter C for console. In the next lesson, we'll move on to the letter O for orientation, where we'll learn more about the terminal environment and how to navigate it with confidence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.